And Barking Hound's bid was $700,000 lower than Southern Hope's. David York addressed the commission as well.
The Department of Ag inspected again this past Friday, and we received a very good review. As needed, we've dismissed staff members who did not comply with our policies and procedures that were best for the animals.
All these allegations, they're false. I just ask if everybody's for the animals, just come down and see the shelter.
Well, commissioners did not respond to any of the speakers today. I did talk, though, to Commissioner Rob Pitts later. He says the county manager confirms Barking Hound is currently meeting the terms of the contract. Mr. Pitts feels there's no need to cancel the contract, especially in the wake of a positive state ag inspection conducted a week after our investigation first aired.
So what happens from this point? Do we have an idea?
Well, Barking Hound's contract actually comes up next April, and usually it's automatically renewed. That's what Southern Hope's contract was for 5 years.
Right.
So that might be the next time this is brought up by the commission itself.
All right, Randy, thanks for staying on top of it.
Thanks, Randy. And still ahead.
County staff is insisting that the next director of the animal shelter have the required experience that's spelled out right there in the management contract.
Now, this comes after an undercover I-team investigation that ultimately led to the departure of a director hired earlier this year who had no shelter experience. I-team reporter Randy Travis is here now with some new developments in his special report. Randy?
That's right, Russ. Amanda, a nonprofit management group actually runs the shelter on behalf of Fulton County, so local government has no direct say over who should be hired. But following our investigation, plenty of people want to know why the county didn't step in and make sure the new boss had actually done this kind of job before.
Would be ready to step in and go to work tomorrow.
When Fulton County commissioners met last January to decide who would run the county animal shelter, Commissioner Rob Pitts took the lead.
So I would urge us to not to support the recommendation by staff to Southern Hope and go to the second bidder, which was a cheaper bidder from the beginning.
Commissioner Pitts favored Barking Hound Village Foundation, primarily, he said, because their bid was $700,000 cheaper per year than the current management. But Barking Hound admits its original director didn't meet a key county requirement: experience, a decision the county says will not happen again.
I think that's very wise of the county because you have a large county, you have a large number of animals. This is probably the largest shelter in Georgia.
Instead, earlier this year, Barking Hound hired Gere Alexander. The real estate attorney and Emory PhD student had no experience running a shelter, even though the contract called for the Animal Control Center manager to have at least 5 years shelter management experience, dealing with at least 4,000 animals. As it turned out, Ms. Alexander lasted 8 months after our investigation raised questions about her leadership and the way in which she treated her favorite breed, pit bulls. Ms. Alexander relaxed home checks for people interested in adopting pit bulls. Then there was this amateur videotape showing pit bulls chained on Ms. Alexander's DeKalb County property. It's against the law in DeKalb to chain your pet. But that wasn't all.
What happened to Beast? What happened to Beast? What happened to Gere Alexander? Where is she? What is going on? We want some answers.
When protesters showed up at the shelter to demand answers from Barking Hound boss David York earlier this month, they asked about a dog named Beast, seized a year ago in a dogfighting investigation. Ms. Alexander signed a sworn affidavit saying Beast was euthanized at the shelter after developing pneumonia. So did the kennel manager, who says he performed the procedure. But the Fulton County DA's office is now investigating after talking with witnesses who say the pit bull on the chain at Ms. Alexander's house is Beast. Videotape shot months after he supposedly died.
Fox received a sworn affidavit on Beast and the
Sworn
euthanasia.
affidavit? What is that? I could swear on an affidavit to anything. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hurt you, but we want answers.
Well, one of their questions, how did Ms. Alexander, someone with no shelter experience, get approved to run this shelter in the first place? Commissioner Pitts wouldn't talk on camera for this story, but says he relied on county staff to make sure the contract was being followed. David York also runs a chain of successful doggy daycare centers called Barking Hound Village. In an earlier interview with the I-Team, Mr. York said he thought he met the shelter contract rules because he made himself the animal control boss.
I'm actually the executive director, and I have 10 years of experience with with my business and then all the rescue groups that we worked at. There's a shelter housed in one of our facilities that we work with.